Hi, my name is Cindy from BeDancewear.com. Today I'm going to show you how to get a flame effect for a costume, or you can have it just for a dress. You can start off with white shorts. You want to make sure that they're dyeable. Not all white is dyeable. You can do it with a high-low skirt. But for purposes of today, I'm going to go ahead and do it with a piece of fabric. I'm going to start off with the yellow-based costume, a piece of fabric that I've cut into a high-low shape so that we can have more fabric. But I'm also going to do it with the white so you can see what happens when you start out with white. You'll need some RIT dye. I found that works the best, gives you the richest colors. The hotter the water you use to mix with it, the higher concentration of color, the richer color you will get with that. You're going to need a spoon so that you can mix and stir. You're definitely going to need some rubber gloves. It'll help protect your hands from the heat. I'm going to use a bowl that I can throw away and rubber bands. Whatever you do, wear an apron, put a plastic bag on you, something so you do not ruin your clothes. And wear clothes you don't care if something happens to it. There's three different methods. There is the sink method that you can use really hot tap water. There's the pot method where you boil the water to get a richer, deeper color. You also can use a washing machine. But if you're using a washing machine, it must be a top loading. The color will be really diluted. The water doesn't get as hot. But if you're doing a bigger group and dyeing it a solid color, that's the best way to go. So today I've already filled up my sink with some hot water. We're going to start with the yellow items, but I'm going to put some golden yellow in first. The liquid is the best because it's going to mix without giving you spots of color. So we'll set this aside. We're going to want to mix it up. And I'm at the end of this right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little hot water. I've only used probably a fourth of this color yellow. We're going to go ahead and dump it in there. Now, if you don't put the items in at the same time, if you put one piece in, it'll take up most of the color. The second piece won't quite match the color. So either you need to put them all in at the same time or add a little more color. But remember, if you're adding greens, you'll get different tones. It'll pull out some blue. So not only will it be a lighter shade when you add the second piece, but it'll be a different color. So first I'm going to add in the white so you can see the color change. And I'm going just for a little bit, even though it's a golden yellow, we're just starting out. It won't be that bright lemon yellow. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to rinse it off with some cold water. It stops the dyeing process. Now I'm going to take this piece here. I'm going to use some rubber bands because the top I want to keep yellow. So we're going to do this so it doesn't get mixed up. I don't care if there's spots of color in it, so we're good to go. But now this way, when we dip, we can have a controlled dye to it. So I'm going to keep this like this. Now to change the color a little, I'm going to put both pieces in. Oh, let's rubber band this one. If it's rubber banded and you put the whole thing in, you will get spots where the rubber band is. So keep it loose enough to hold, but not so tight that it would leave spots if there's anything that happens. Okay, so now I'm going to dip it in, leaving the top part out. I'm basically doing an ombre, but with different colors. Now you're not going to really notice the color change of the golden yellow on this, but it'll just take it down so it's not quite so bright. So I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but now I'm going to rinse this out. I'm going to add in a little more hot water just because I feel like it's cooled down a bit. You want to keep it as hot as you can do it. Be careful, do not put your hands in boiling water, and make sure the temperature is something that you can stick your hand in if you're going to do that. Next I'm going to add some orange. In this one, to get it nice and dark, I went ahead and added about half a bottle. So I'm going to dip the skirt in partway down first. Then I'm going to dip the shorts in partway down. And then I'm going to take part of the yellow piece so you can see when you start with a white base, the color change. The good thing about doing a dye is nobody else will have that same costume you have. So here is the yellow so far. Here are the shorts so far. You can see a little bit of color variation. And then here is this. Now we're going to go, each time you want to go a little further down how you dip it in, so you keep the brighter color on top going down. I'm going to dip a little more orange in. So far we've used about 2/3 of the bottle. Now if I want a richer, darker color besides hotter water, you can leave it sitting. Sometimes I'll just leave it laying across my sink with the color that I do not want, the top part, on the other side of the sink. But you'll want to be careful as the color starts changing. If the level of this starts changing, the color will drip down and go into the upper portion, which is okay if that's the look you're going for. Now let's get the shorts. Now in this, the last color I'm going to add is cherry red. Get the bottom of the flame. So now I have the orange, the middle portion out of the water. I'm getting the shorts nice and coated. You can go with volcano red, scarlet red. And let's dip the end of this in. Now, I just made a big mistake that you might make also. My hand that was inside the dye, I touched the top. First thing you'll want to do is rinse it out. Now for me, I don't mind if there's a little red on it. If you don't want any of that color up at the top, what you're going to want to do is put a plastic baggie over it so that doesn't happen. Now this is the color we've gotten so far. See how it goes to a nice orange at the bottom, a deeper color. You can take it one step further. I'm going to show you the method where I had powdered dye. So we're going to want to put it in a bowl. Every color, if you don't mix the dye well enough, what'll happen is you'll get spots of other color. Like this, you could get a spot of green, a spot of yellow. I'm going to add some of the water from here in, stir it around. Now it's not going to come out black, but what it's going to do is going to take on, now I'll mix it all in, it's going to make it all just a little bit darker red, get a deeper, richer color at the bottom. Almost like a brown. So the very tip I'm getting in. You can go with more red, you can do it however you would like. Now here's the bottom of the shorts. Now, next step is I'm going to unplug it. We're going to rinse it all out. Cold water, once again, stops the activation, so you want to make sure and rinse it out. You want to heat set it in the dryer. There's two different choices. You can rinse it really well and run it through your washing machine and then your dryer, but you are taking a chance on getting color in both your dryer and the other. Sometimes I'll take it and hang it outside. Remember, if it's wadded up or if it's wrinkled up, it's going to change the effect, but that's okay. Now, if I would have wanted more reds in it, I would have kept it in the hotter water longer. Let's undo the rubber bands. So here's the shorts. Let's rinse them out really good. Here is what started out as white mesh. Get all that water out. Now, if I'm going to work with this right away, add paint for color, what I'll do is I'll take a towel. I'll keep the light color at the top. Go through and just squeeze all the excess water out. I'm going to go ahead and take off the gloves now. You want to be careful. One thing I found, sometimes I dip my hand below and then water goes in the top, so you'll get color all over your hand. Let's undo the rubber band. And so there you see the color change. Now, to get flames, you could keep it this way, or I fold it in half. I'm going to keep the top part together if I don't buy a skirt and I'm just using fabric. We'll keep that together. Then I found it easier to do two pieces at one time. I'm going to take my scissors and slice and drag going up. Make some chops inside. You want some dangly pieces hanging down. You can go up as high as you want. Just remember, it's better to start off small, go back and go higher. Once you cut it, there's no going back. We're just going to repeat this all the way around. You want it nice and choppy. Sometimes you'll accidentally cut a piece off. That's okay. Now I've just done part of it, but it'll give you the idea. So when you move, it'll swirl. Once again, this video has been brought to you by bdancewear.com, where all of our costumes come in over 200 colors and are handmade in the USA.
If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more great videos on everything dance, please click the subscribe button.